Good morning, children. Our today's topic is the respiratory balance sheet. Because before that, we had completed the complete mechanism of respiration. First, the glycolysis, then Krebs cycle, and then electron transport system. And when one molecule of glucose passes through all the three steps, then 38 ATP molecules are formed, but 2 ATP molecules are used in this process. But the question is that whether this is possible practically or not. So these calculations can be made only on certain assumptions. As I was telling you, that first of all, the glucose should undergo glycolysis, then undergo Krebs cycle, TCA cycle, and then electron transport system. And whatever the NADH which is formed in the process of glycolysis should also enter to the mitochondria and should undergo oxidative phosphorylation, that is electron transport system. And also one more condition is there, that none of the intermediate in the pathway should be utilized for any other synthesis or for the synthesis of any other compound. Then only the if the 38 ATP molecule will be formed. And one more condition is there, that only the glucose should be the substrate and no other alternative substrates are entering in the pathway at any of the intermediate stage. That means from the starting, the glucose should undergo glycolysis and then TCA cycle and then electron transport system. No intermediate compound should enter into the pathway. But this kind of assumptions are really not valid, because many more metabolism are keep continuing into the body, and there is a multiple processes which are going on, and the ATP which is formed in the process of respiration, the intermediate in the intermediate stages, they are also utilized and they can be used whenever they are needed. All of these processes are actually controlled by the enzymes, and sometimes there is a action of enzyme or their efficiency also changes. Okay, and one more thing is that substrates which enter into the pathway and which are withdrawn from it, and when necessary ATP is utilized. That means any other substrate also can enter into the pathway, and any other intermediate compound can also be withdrawn from the pathway. ATP which is formed can also be withdrawn for whenever it is needed. Enzymatic actions can also change, so that this 36 ATP molecule are only possible when all these steps takes place in the sequence, and no other substrate should enter into the pathway, and no intermediate compound should be withdrawn from this pathway. Okay, this is one topic. Another topic is this, the difference of fermentation and aerobic respiration. The fermentation, the partial breakdown of glucose takes place and carbon dioxide and water is formed, so that but in aerobic respiration the complete breakdown of food takes place and again the carbon dioxide and water is formed. In fermentation, only 2 ATP molecules are formed because of the partial breakdown, but in aerobic respiration, the 36 ATP molecule are formed. NADH is oxidized to NAD rather slowly in fermentation. However, the reaction is very vigorous in case of aerobic respiration. Now another topic. This is the third topic. Third topic is that respiration is called as amphibolic pathway. Why it is called as amphibolic pathway, which we are going to discuss with the help of this flow chart. Look at here. This first look at the center part, where the carbohydrate or glucose is the substrate for the process of respiration. So whatever the carbohydrates are formed like sucrose, it converts into glucose. Okay, now this glucose will undergo glycolysis. The glycolysis is here written in short, and ultimately pyruvic acid is formed. This pyruvic acid, by the process of oxidative decarboxylation, it converts into acetyl coenzyme A. This acetyl coenzyme A enter to Krebs cycle. Here the CO2 is formed and water is formed, and NADH2 is also formed. That NADH2 will enter into electron transport system, then energy will be formed, but that is not mentioned here. We are here discussing actually the topic that respiration is a amphibolic pathway. Now, if the fat is the substrate, then what will happen? This glycolysis will not take place, because in the process of digestion the fat will convert into fatty acid and glycerol, and this fatty acid can directly be converted into acetyl coenzyme A, and this acetyl coenzyme A will enter into the Krebs cycle. Okay. Similarly, this acetyl coenzyme A, which is formed by the glycolysis and oxidative decarboxylation, this acetyl coenzyme A can be withdrawn from this pathway and can be reutilized for the formation of fatty acid. Okay. Similarly, if the glycerol is the substrate, then this glycerol will directly convert into PGAL, glyceraldehyde 3-phosphate, and again pyruvic acid will form. That means these steps will not be there when the glycerol is the substrate. These all steps will not be there when the fatty acid is a substrate. Similarly, these can also be withdrawn. Now is the case of protein, that if the protein is the substrate, then it will convert into amino acid by the process of digestion. This amino acid can be a pyruvic acid, so that again there is no need of glycolysis. Now suppose the synthesis of protein is required in the body, then this pyruvic acid can be withdrawn from here and can be reutilized for the formation of protein or synthesis of protein. What does it mean? It means that traditionally we used to say that respiration is a catabolic process, as it is being shown directly here, that glucose is broken down and the carbon dioxide, water and energy is formed. But once we observe that this acetyl coenzyme A is being withdrawn from the pathway and used for the formation of fatty acid, so it is a anabolic process. Similarly, once the pyruvic acid is used for the synthesis of protein, then it is also a anabolic process. When protein is broken down into amino acid, it is catabolic. But when pyruvic acid is used for the synthesis of protein, it is anabolic. Similarly, once fatty acid broken down into acetyl coenzyme A, it is catabolic. But once the acetyl coenzyme A is used for the synthesis of fatty acid, it is anabolic. That means the respiration is both anabolic and catabolic process, which is summarized here, that both respiration is both catabolic and anabolic pathway, hence it is called as amphibolic pathway. What I have explained you through the chart, it all is been written here in this paragraph. Okay. So this is one topic completed, that respiration is a amphibolic process which can be explained with the help of this flow chart, and what is missing in your book you can even add according to the description. Now we are here coming to the fifth topic, that is respiratory quotient. Fourth topic, respiratory quotient. That means it is the ratio of the volume of CO2 evolved to the volume of oxygen consumed in the respiration, that is called as respiratory quotient. That can be written in the form of formula: volume of CO2 evolved and volume of oxygen consumed. Okay. So in case of carbohydrate, protein and fat, the respiratory quotient is different. In case of carbohydrate, the respiratory quotient is 1. It can be explained with the help of this equation, that the oxygen used and carbon dioxide produced is equal, so that the respiratory quotient will be 1. In case of fat, if the fat which is used for respiration as a substrate, as tripalmitin we are here taking, so 145 O2 molecules are used here, 102 carbon dioxide molecules are formed, so the respiratory quotient is less than 1, that is 0.7. Similarly, in case of protein, the respiratory quotient will come 0.9. So this way we have seen the complete process of respiration. It is important to recognize that living organism, the respiratory substance are often one more than one. Okay, that means the carbohydrate or fat or protein, fat can also be the respiratory substrate. But here they are saying the pure protein or fats are never used as a respiratory substrate because they are converted here into acetyl coenzyme A, or you can say the pyruvic acid or any other amino acid by the process of digestion. Okay, so this is all about this process and this chapter, that is the mechanism of respiration. Thank you.